so bad it's good? You're watching Beyond the Trailer's review of The Paperboy.
These your paper boys? Mm-hmm. What they gonna do for us?
Deputies say they found the sheriff's body at 6 a.m., but it was the way he was killed.
That's what makes everyone assume it was you. I ain't the only one carrying a machete around here. What really happened?
You look a little young to be a journalist.
You can get your man out of jail, wouldn't you?
Tell him we got Hillary out. Governor's gonna pardon him. Yeah.
If you want to see Zac Efron in his tighty whities, then this is the movie for you. Yes, as Efron tries to follow in the footsteps of his idol Leonardo DiCaprio, he's made perhaps his strangest career choice yet. Lee Daniels' hotly anticipated follow-up to Precious, The Paperboy premiered at Cannes earlier this year, and nobody knew quite what to make of it. The immediate headlines focused on an infamous scene where Nicole Kidman pees on Efron. Sure, it's because he got stung by a jellyfish, but in a movie that's being called highly erotic, everything takes on a different tone. But Kidman is no stranger to pushing the edge of the envelope. She reinvigorated her career and the movie musical with Moulin Rouge, wowed Broadway by showing her bare butt on stage, won an Oscar for donning a fake nose, and has worked with directors like Stanley Kubrick and Lars von Trier. And once again, Kidman is coming out on top for it, with critics agreeing she's the one indisputable bright spot in The Paperboy. She even got a tribute out of it at the 50th Annual New York Film Festival to tie in with the screening of The Paperboy naturally. See, this is how Oscar campaigns are run, and Kidman, who has 2 other Oscar nominations besides her win, is Millennium Films' best bet at getting some Oscar action for The Paperboy. It's unlikely anyone's going to nominate Efron for anything, but the actor is simply hopeful roles like this will change his image. And while nudity is a double-edged sword, it did wonders for Channing Tatum, it's a more surefire bet that Efron will be helped by appearing in a Lee Daniels film, alongside respected talent like Kidman, John Cusack, and Matthew McConaughey. On a side note, McConaughey is so good in Magic Mike, don't be surprised if that's the film that gets him some awards nominations this year. As for The Paperboy, is this trashy pulp flick art or just trashy pulp? And even if it is, sometimes trashy pulp isn't so bad. Let's go find out. So as you know, I've been covering the New York Film Festival, so I got to see The Paperboy in an advanced screening. And I have to say, I don't understand all the hate about it. I mean, this film has just been, as I said in the beginning, critics are divided about it, but also, as I was checking out some of the reviews before going to see the film myself, they're just viciously attacking it. And I don't think that's warranted at all. I thought it was actually a pretty good film. It reminded me of a Tennessee Williams play meets Deliverance. And on that second note, I think Lee Daniels did such a tremendous job capturing late 1960s, early 70s filmmaking. Someone compared it to Instagram, like he shot the whole movie on Instagram, but I thought that was kind of nitpicky and missing the forest for the trees. I thought that it was supposed to look that way, and it did. Even from like when he would do zooms in the film, it had that jerky 1960s feel, which I thought was it worked really well to create that feeling that you were in the time period. So I enjoyed that. And also, as you may remember, I reviewed The Perks of Being a Wallflower a few weeks ago, and I said that was an actor's movie. And I think that The Paperboy is very much an actor's movie, and the acting is very good across the board, from Nicole Kidman, who's getting all the attention, to Zac Efron, and to even Macy Gray. I was really surprised at how good an actress Macy Gray was. I think she did a really nice job. You would not think that, but she was excellent. And also the characters, they do some crazy things. They're in really crazy situations, but at no point did I ever question the reality of the situations they were in. You know, weird stuff happens. And I think that's one of the things that the movie was exploring. You're thinking that these people live in the South. They're all not financially well off. It's a tough time period. And so they very much have the feeling that they can do whatever they want. There are no consequences. What's really going to happen? Why not do it? And I think the movie, I was thinking about that, about what it must be like to feel that free and not feel that there will be any repercussions. But then it occurred to me that, as you'll see in the film, there are very serious repercussions. And also you'll see that John Cusack's character and his family are alligator hunters, and the swamp where they live is very crucial to the finale of the film. So I haven't quite figured out what it is yet, but I feel there's some kind of metaphor going on there. Kind of like, don't poke an alligator with a stick, because it's going to turn around and bite you. So I thought that part was very good. Back to the acting, everyone was very, very good. Matthew McConaughey was also good. This has been a very good year for Matthew McConaughey with Magic Mike. I thought he was really good in Magic Mike, as I said in the open, and he does a very nice job here. He and Zac Efron are really touchingly believable as brothers. As for Zac Efron, he does spend an incredible amount of the movie in his underwear, in tighty whities, and he's pretty much naked. Because tighty whities, as we all know, don't really offer any coverage. But it was interesting to see a male actor portrayed so much as eye candy. Usually that's reserved for young actresses. And you could argue that Magic Mike does that, but Magic Mike was very, was empowering. They were very in control of their stripping and how they presented themselves. And Zac Efron is incredibly vulnerable in this film, and he did it really well. That said, though, I don't really know what it's going to do for his career. I think that as I said, Leonardo DiCaprio is an idol of his. He's trying to follow in his footsteps, but DiCaprio went out of his way never to trade on his looks, and I feel that Zac Efron, that's all he's doing here. So that was an interesting choice. I don't know how it's going to serve him down the line, but it should be noted that he did a nice job with the acting. I mean, he played that character very believable, and he really got the guy's emotional state down just perfectly. Nicole Kidman, of course, as I said, they have a gala tribute to her, a lot of awards buzz, and she did a very nice job making a character that I feel a lot of people wouldn't have sympathy for if they read about them like on the news, like, here's this woman who writes to prisoners, and everyone would be like, she's crazy. But I think that Nicole Kidman made her extremely sympathetic, and there's a scene in the film when she first meets Matthew McConaughey and Zac Efron, and she has to walk in these heels across like a lawn, that's not paved, and just the way she did it was just so perfect. There was just something about it that stood out. She just captured it perfectly. I mean, it's hard enough to walk in high heels, but to be able to act in high heels and create a character who's walking them, I thought that was pretty impressive. So the film, from an acting standpoint, very good. Also, back to the Zac Efron thing, he spends his entire time in his underwear in the film, and in that way I think it's a little bit of a tease, because the film, I wouldn't say it's graphic, it's R-rated, it's a hard R. You're not going to see anything worse than you see on Showtime or HBO. But in terms of Zac Efron, he and Nicole Kidman, when they get to their big scene, they fade away. And it seems very much like a tease, like a cheat. Because that scene, as you'll see when you watch the film, ends up being so important to both characters. So it's like, why would you choose now to fade away? We've been looking at Zac Efron the entire film, and Nicole Kidman, everybody. So that just seemed like an odd choice from Lee Daniels. But I really did enjoy the film. I think, I don't know if it's worth seeing in theaters. I think you could rent this film, you would still get the same experience. But if you're a fan of any of the actors, I think it's worth seeing. Especially if you're interested in seeing them grow. And I think the film probably will get some awards buzz. I'm interested to see if people come around to it. Again, I don't know why the response was so vicious from some of these people who saw it at Cannes. But, if you've seen The Paperboy, if you venture out and see it, tell me what you think. Who do you agree with? Do you agree with the people who tore it apart at Cannes? Or do you agree with me that there's merit here? This is good. I mean, when I say Tennessee Williams play, I really do mean Tennessee Williams play. It is very much like that. I know some people have said that this author who wrote the original book is like Elmore Leonard, and I guess it has aspects of that, but this is, to me, just scream. Like, I expected Sidney Poitier to come around the corner any minute and be like, hey everybody, what's up? And also, Matthew McConaughey's partner kind of is a Sidney Poitier type character. So, yeah, it's well done. It's well done. I think Lee Daniels, I didn't see Precious, but, I think he's definitely a talented filmmaker. Some might question his taste level, but then I would tell those who do to remember that there are actually a lot of people like this. And, their stories are very touching, and I think it can be also a good lesson learned. Don't poke an alligator with a stick. So thank you as always, I hope you're enjoying these reviews when I can give them. Trying to alternate between my own reviews and audience reactions. So those are available on Friday, and you can check out movie news and trailers here during the week. So thanks for watching, as always, and I hope you'll subscribe. See you around. Bye.